What is up, Isaac? How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. I've been looking forward to this all day. In fact, it was such a momentous occasion, I put pants on for this. So,
I appreciate that.
you're welcome. You're welcome. It's literally the least I could do. So I'm also wearing my brand new Bob's Burger shirt. So
Nice. I like it.
Are you a fan of Bob's Burgers?
I have seen an episode or two, but it's not high on my list. I'm not a big fan of guys named Bob. So
hey, we aren't either. We try to distance ourselves from people named Bob. So anyway, yeah, no, Bob's Burgers. I'm a big fan. We were getting some clothes for our kids, and we were at Target and saw the shirt, and I was like, I got to have that. The burger van. So
Perfect.
yeah.
Do the sweatpants match?
No, actually, I have pajama pants on, so it wasn't that momentous of an occasion. Just pajama pants,
That's fair.
So
Same here.
I feel like Bob would wear flannel pajama pants like I'm wearing. I feel like his character.
It's a good fit.
Yeah, yeah. So Isaac, we have a pretty fun lineup today. It is the month of February. We're getting ready for Valentine's Day, if you celebrate that. So it's a time for love and all that stuff. But we're going to be talking about two-player games today.
Yes,
right?
We are. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And we found out something interesting. So I was wishing my wife happy birthday on social media on February 3rd on her birthday. And it was funny because, Isaac, you were wishing your wife a happy birthday on that same exact date.
I was indeed. Yeah, you kicked that message to me. I was like, wow, okay. This is just, there's a reason we're doing this together. It's just
yeah. That's interesting. So our wives share a birthday. It's awesome.
And I don't know about you, but that's my number one person I play two-player games with.
Absolutely, mine too. So with us being in the pandemic and not having gaming groups and stuff, my wife has been my biggest competitor. She's the one that I'm like, I really want to play this game that I know you're not a huge fan of. Will you please play it with me? And she's like, yeah, sure. So
yeah. Sometimes it's pulling teeth sometimes, but for the most part, I'm very blessed, and sounds like you are too, to have a wife who really enjoys gaming.
Absolutely. So Rick says, I'm here for round 2 of the live stream betrayal. Let's do this.
Ooh,
so Rick's a little testy that I have a friend other than him. It's been something I've been working toward for years. So
well, we got to do what we got to do here.
Yeah. So one of the things that I was going to throw out there is when we look for purchasing a game for our spouse, what do you look for? Because I think I've been in that boat of purchasing a new game for my wife either around a holiday or around a birthday. And sometimes I've got it right. Sometimes I've gotten it wrong. So what are your thoughts on that?
So as far as, finding gifts for my spouse, for my wife, for birthday, Christmas, what have you, I got her one game and one expansion. So expansions are always good. If you find something she loves, it's really helpful to go, oh, well, let me get you this extra thing. Like, I got the new boards for Azul with the plastic inlays, right? Like,
yeah.
There's an easy addition.
Crystal Palace or something like that?
Yep.
Okay.
Didn't really change a lot, added a little thing or two, and she loved that. And that was an easy addition. So play off of stuff she likes. Sometimes if you have a game like, I know one of her favorite games is Castles of Mad King Ludwig.
Okay.
So let's try In Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig, which we'll talk about a little bit coming up. But it was playing off of things I know she likes. She likes Wingspan, so we got Mariposa. She didn't like Mariposa that much. She kind of likes it, but she doesn't love it. So finding, this works, this doesn't. But I think expansions are usually a good way to open up a game that somebody already likes, especially because she gets tired of, and I'm sure you're in the same boat, saying, hey, can you learn another new game tonight? Like, why not, get more into something that she enjoys?
Yeah, I think doing board games media has been tough because I don't know if you get much kickback from your family, but I get kickback from my family, we have to learn something new, so that's a big one where I'm just like, yeah, we do have to learn something new because I have to cover this game, and I don't have 100 people sitting at my game table,
Yep.
So,
Yep.
So sometimes they're the unwilling victim. I think the game that I got for my wife a couple years ago, and this was one of those shot in the dark type of situations. I got my wife Castles of Burgundy, and I thought she would like it. She loves strategy games. She's really big into just really thinking things through and just trying to do combos. And she really loves that Euro style game. And so Castles of Burgundy was one that we actually played it right. I think I gave it to her on Christmas Day. The next day we played it. We played it a bunch of times after that. And so it was a big hit. But where I failed was a couple years later, and I gave her Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig.
There we go.
That was not a success. In fact, it's over there on the floor in my sell pile because we've only played it like 4 times. And she doesn't enjoy it at all. And so, yeah.
But you don't know until you try, right? And that's
exactly.
The edge you got to go out to try and say, okay, is this going to work? Is this not going to work? And there's a lot of misses. misses are pretty normal. My buddy Jason's making some comments here. So Jason is one of my local friends, and we play a lot with him and his wife. His wife Becky is a big gamer too. She loves board games. I sent her pictures of Kohaku. Kohaku, because I knew she'd love it just from how it looks. And his comment here, I think that's where you start to catch on, right? He found out that she doesn't like attack games, player versus player. My wife, same way. She doesn't care for those kind of games at all.
Yeah. And Rick has a good one. How much of this becomes I got you this, but it's really for me? I don't know that if I've done that one. I'm looking around to see if I've. No.
For me, I haven't really done too much of that. Now, when I first started getting into gaming, absolutely. Absolutely.
But it's like you'll probably like this, and then
looks like you got another unmatched comment there. I know you're big. That gets played at your house.
Man, what is this? Oh, the amount of bass in the voices in the live stream is rumbling my speakers. That's the way we do, Bob.
Boom, 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 Bob.
Yeah. And then, of course, Unmatched is making its appearance. My wife is pretty competitive over Unmatched. She is unbeatable with Medusa. That is awesome. Medusa is a good fighter. So I think that we are adopting so many Unmatched players because of our Friday night fights. But yeah, so, games hit or miss. There's actually a game, we were going to talk about some games that our spouse will always play when asked. So it's funny because we were riding in the car the other day, and I had made my list of a couple games, and I said, Erin, which games would you play 100% of the time? And she picked two of the 3 that I put. Yeah, I put 3 on here, and she picked 2 of the 3. So I was right on with those. So one of the ones that both of our wives have in common is Calico. So I've got a couple games right here.
Perfect. Wonderful game.
Yeah. So tell me, this was actually one of your games of 2020. Tell me about why Calico works for you all.
So Calico as a theme does not work for me. Not a cat guy. Not a
me neither. Cat. Not at all.
But it's and we talked about this a little bit before. What do I know that my wife likes? And she likes abstract games that you have to think multiple turns and steps ahead. She's not a fly by seat of her pants gamer. She likes to kind of combo things and see that combo go off. And with Calico, you cannot just kind of fudge your way through Calico. You got to think, this tile is going to go here, and I'm looking for this. I'm hoping for this. So there's focus. There's tension. She likes a good theme, but I think the abstract nature of the puzzle is what she really likes, and it's got that.
The loudest car just went by my house. Sorry about that. Yeah, so Calico was one of those games that we didn't get to play it in 2020, and at the beginning of the year, we were traveling through Florida, and we actually stopped at Bearded Brown Coats Comics and Games. If you're near Ocala, Florida, that's a place to check out. They've got some really good stuff. But they had a copy of Calico sitting there when I haven't been able to get a hold of it online. So I picked that up. It was one of those convincing Aaron. We were looking around, and there were two games, and I was like, man, which one? And I looked at it, I said, I think you'll like Calico. And this was after our conversation where you were talking about how much you and your wife enjoy playing it together. And it's a great two-player experience. And so Calico made it into our collection, and Aaron and I played it every night that first week that we had it. So it's definitely a good one, and definitely a good two-player game. So Edgar commented from Tampa, Florida. Well, Ruskin to be exact. All right.
Hanging out down there.
There we go. So what's another game that is on your wife's list of every time you say, let's play it, she's at the table waiting?
I know that, and I think it's high up on my list on my app of most played games because I really enjoy it too, is specifically part 1 of the Century Trio, and that's the Century Spice Road.
Okay.
And regular version, I have all the extra cards and the playmat. Gollum edition, I need to get the playmat. That was one of those, like, Plan B stuff, I just buy it up at conventions, right? I go and buy everything they've got, all the promo stuff. So I missed the 2020 Plan B experience. I'm hoping to catch it in 2021. But one of the few games I have, when it comes to Gollum that's autographed, because I got to sit down with Emerson,
nice,
that and had him sign this in 18, and this is my favorite part. He wrote right there,
that's awesome,
to the Vias, you guys rock, right, for the Gollum edition. And I brought this home to my wife, and I said, I think you're gonna really love it. She's like, I already love Century Spice Road, why do we need it again? And then this is where the aesthetics pay off, right? Because this game is just, it's prettier, right? And the theme is a little bit more that she really enjoyed. So I know with that game, like, no question, we could play that 10 times in a row, and both of us would be very happy to play it.
That's cool. Yeah. So Century Gollum Edition, we purchased that at, I think, Origins a couple of years back. And it's so funny because I ended up sitting down next to Emerson. We were playing Word Smash or something like that. We were playing a word game with some of the Punchboard Media folks, and they were like, oh, this is Emerson. And I was like, oh, I just bought your game, and so but we play Century Gollum Edition pretty often, and she really enjoys it. So it's one of those games where she doesn't win that one very often, but she really enjoys playing it.
Yeah, so that makes a good game if you enjoy it, even if you can't beat it.
Absolutely. A game that we both fell in love with is Parks. So this was the Kickstarter edition right here. Parks is Erin's number one game. So she is down to play Parks at any time, all the time. In fact, she asked me, I think we were playing every Saturday for a while, and she asked me, she was like, do you want to play Parks? I know you're probably tired of it. I'm like, no, I mean, that's totally fine. Parks is a beautiful game. It is very, very, very cool. So
yeah, I haven't played that. It's been on my short list for a while. It was on my Christmas list. I ended up getting it, but when I heard nothing but great stuff about, so definitely want to check that one out.
Yep. So what's one more game that your wife will jump to the table every time you play?
One of her, and we talked about Azul earlier, but one of her quick grabs, like, we like roll and writes. She likes roll and writes that she knows and is comfortable with. And I didn't grab it off the shelf, but Gon's Cleaver, the first version, not the Dopplet, so Cleaver one, but just the original Gon's, like, yeah, she's just like, that's an easy play. Like, she loves playing it, getting your hands on the dice. And again, it's the thinking ahead, right? It's the, if I do this, and then bam, 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 those combos are going to happen. Like, I scored the highest I ever scored in that game the very first time I played it, and I've been chasing that white whale since.
Nice.
I had 400 and some odd points. Thought, oh man, this game's okay. I get this. I've never gotten close to that again, but I enjoy the chase it's quick, it's easy. We can sit down, we can have conversation, and still be able to play some game, which is the perfect combination.
I think that's so. Erin is not a huge roll and write fan, but a roll and write that she will play pretty often is the Castles of Burgundy dice. It's one of those games that we actually can just throw it in on. We just throw the dice into the box, and we'll just sit there in bed and do the roll and write. It's a really portable game, and that's something that definitely works for us. Azul Summer Pavilion is definitely one that Erin will always play. So she loves that game. We played it. I actually purchased it for her mother for Christmas, and when she played it around Christmas that year, she was like, I need this game. And so she actually got it for her birthday that year. So
hey, I'm getting some comments on our Facebook thread. We have to figure out how to smash those together. Theodore Richter is on there. Hey, how's it going? Sorry, all of it's coming through the One Board's live feed.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, the plugin we're using Restream, and I actually don't know how to plug into Gaming with Sidekicks interface and get those comments on here. So we'll eventually figure it out. We just have to test it. Yeah.
I see him saying hi. Ellen Kirby is over here saying hello also. Awesome. Hey, how's it going?
Very cool. Justin Gibbons stopping by. So what's up, Justin?
He's not played Gons. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's an app for it, Justin. It's a good app.
The app is the one that I've played a lot. So we got a question about what about Everdale? So have you played Everdale? I haven't. It's beautiful.
I have not. I made a top 20 of 2020, and I made a list of another 10 games that may have made it onto my top 10 of 2020 if I'd had a chance to play it. Everdale was at the top. Buddy Jazz loves it. Some of the other guys on our team have played it and loved it. My friend Jason, who's here, I think he has it and has enjoyed playing it too. So I'd love to play it. I would bet my wife would love it as well. Yeah. It's just one of those, we got so many games in front of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got Becky will play Azul Summer Pavilion at any time. She'll try any tile placement, polyomino, roll and write, all of those. Man, that's
all the good stuff. Yep.
Yeah, good stuff. So, so when we talk about favorite two-player games, so what are some of your favorite two-player games? And we're not going to just say obviously two-player focused, but there are some games that just work so well at two players that there's no reason why that experience should be like, oh, well, it's a four-player game, really. So what are some great two-player games that you found?
I mean, it's classic. Right, but we're gonna reach for it here. And it's probably one of the first that we really got a lot of play in is just straight up patchwork. Yeah. Like it's good for a reason. For a two-player game, the push and pull is great. It's a polyomino game, like Jason was talking about. I love a good polyomino game, and the patchwork roll and write is okay. It's not my favorite, but man, I'll play this two-player all day. Like I love patchwork.
Yeah. Justin Gibbons says one of the games my wife and I play is Chronicles of Crime. Those detective style games are really cool for couples to play. It's really awesome. Rick has so many stories about the Sherlock consulting detective. Oh, yeah. So Rick and his wife Sarah, they play that. He's told me so many times where they just take out the components and they're just sitting on the couch browsing through the newspaper pieces and looking for clues and talking it out. It's really cool. So but yeah, so one of my favorite two-player games I would have to say is Quest for El Dorado. So, and the reason it's not a two-player only game, but the reason why this one works so well at two players is that for the two players, you actually control two explorers at a time. And so it kind of ramps up the difficulty a little, and it also forces you to choose who are you going to move, when you're going to move them, how you're going to divide out the cards. Is it worth getting somebody ahead? Is it worth leaving somebody behind and blocking the route against the other player? This El Dorado is a really great two-player game, and so it's one of our favorites.
Yeah. So do you get the family in on games of El Dorado also?
Yeah, so our youngest one has actually really enjoyed it. My sister-in-law, Lauren, she beats us at El Dorado almost every time. I think she's made some kind of pack where she wins every time and we have no chance because she's won so often.
Nice.
But yeah, so the whole family enjoys that one.
Nice.
So,
couple comments from Rick there.
Yeah, Rick is blowing it up. Quest for El Dorado is a fantastic choice. Definitely top 3 games for me. It does feel different at 2 players, so it's a good one. So, what other 2-player games are you guys into?
So, asymmetrical 2-player, I think is kind of hard to come across, right? Because most of the stuff feels like it's push-pull, and I really enjoy a good pencil first game. In fact, I don't think there's a pencil first game I've played that I haven't enjoyed.
Yeah,
they've all been stellar in gameplay and amazing in artwork. And Skull Hollow right here,
so good,
is one of the most fun 2-player games that I don't think enough people like. I think people know about it, right? But I think if enough people sat down, took the time to learn this, they'd be amazed at how much game there is in this box. And the artwork is amazing, right? And I got upside down, and the minis are like these dudes here are crazy nice. Like, I remember we played the prototype for this when Ed sent it around. My son and I sat down and played it, and I was like, I've never played a 2-player game like this this asymmetrical and feels this balanced and felt like a video game. Like I felt like I was playing what's that old PlayStation 2 game?
Shadow of the Colossus,
right? That's what I felt like I was playing. I'm punching away, and then we flipped roles, and I'm like, I feel like I'm playing a whole different game. It was so enjoyable.
Skull Hollow has that feel, and what I love about Skull Hollow is you have these 4 different monsters, correct, in the box?
I believe it's 4 total.
4. Okay, so 4 different monsters, so you can change up, and they all feel very different. So the worm looking monster that has the tentacles and stuff, that plays so different than the bear that is just this huge grizzly. And that thing with the wings,
that's crazy.
Absolutely. So Justin said his wife Kai is sitting right next to him. She said Forgotten Waters, Legacy of Dragonholt, the Harry Potter and Toy Story deck building games, along with Wingspan and Stone Age. Wingspan's another one that my wife and I love at 2 players. Just my wife really enjoys engine building games. She's really into that.
So. I do too. I love them. I love a good engine builder, and especially one like Wingspan that's an engine builder that's not combative to other players. Like, I can build my engine, you can build yours, let's see who does it better. Not I'm going to undercut you in this process.
Yeah. Well, if you want to get competitive, you have to jump into Unmatched. Unmatched is one of those games that Aaron and I love to play. That's why we started Friday Night Fight, because we were playing Unmatched anyway. Might as well stream it. So we sat down and we took some photos for our Little Red Riding Hood and Beowulf review that goes up tomorrow. And while we had the pieces out, and Aaron was like, I just want to play this right now. I was like, I know, but I have to live stream in 20 minutes. So I got to do this, and maybe we'll still play if we're not going to fall asleep. So.
That is a key to gaming as well with your spouse.
Yes.
Staying awake.
Yes. And then, of course, Dinosaur Island. So are you a Dinosaur Island fan?
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. 100%. Got the original Kickstarter. I am blessed to live in Northwest Ohio. The Northwest Ohio Designer Guild includes John Gilmore, Ian Moss, Micah, who did the blocks, mental blocks. We've got some guys who have published some games, and so having Ian and John right in my backyard, I got to see those games when they were in development, or I got to play it's the Skybound one that they just put together with the
Wonderland's War.
Wonderland's War. I played so many versions of Wonderland's War, the original different versions of it. Like, those guys make good games, and Ian did a tremendous job with Dinosaur Island.
So Dinosaur Island, I played Dinosaur Island. and played. I think I played Dinosaur Island first, actually, but I actually preferred Dinosaur Island. There's that competitive, really close back and forth that happens with Dinosaur Island. It's one of those games where Aaron and I will grab a cup of coffee and we'll just battle it out with building our dinosaur setups. Dinosaur Island is one that we don't hear a lot about, but it's a fantastic two-player game, and it's two-player only. So.
Absolutely. I love the I split you choose. Like the aspects of it are great. And like you said, honestly, from a Dinosaur Island perspective, Dinosaur Island is great. I love it. It's a huge table presence. It takes me an entire game's length to set it up and put it down. Right. And so that's the disadvantage of a game like that. But Dual Source quick, it's easy and it plays so well.
Yeah, absolutely. So you want to talk about some games that we're playing this month?
Yeah, absolutely.
Games that are hitting the table.
So Steve, who made the comment there about the DC deck builder, that's an old school classic.
Yeah.
Like, we used to play the heck out of that when I first got into gaming. Haven't gotten into it for a while, but yeah, that's a solid deck builder.
Absolutely.
Good pick with that one. So speaking of two-player games, I recently got some games from WizKids, and Derek and I in 2019 will tell you that one of the best games we played, the execution of, is Flotilla. And Flotilla was an amazing game. There were parts of it that were broken. There's a fix for it, but if you play it and you experience the broken part, it's disappointing. It's one of those games that you go, I don't know if I can do that again. And that's disappointing because the game is beautiful. The idea behind the game. Have you played Flotilla at all? Ryan?
I haven't actually. I asked Bob about this because I think Bob played with you at PAX or something like that. Yep. And so I asked about Flotilla because I was really interested. I love the artwork in it, and it just seemed like something that would be right up my alley. So I asked him about it, and I don't remember why I didn't add that to a list, but yeah. Anyway, I haven't played it yet.
It's great, and it really is it's a game that's got so much going on both sides, depending on if you stay seaside or you flip over. Like it's great, and it's got a Concordia thing with the hand of cards. Like, there's so many good things going on with that game. But what they just came out with, kind of like the Dinosaur Island to Dinosaur Island, is Seastead. Seastead is a two-player only version of Flotilla. Where you're setting up the flotillas in the middle here, and it's got a solo edition, so it's a
really. I haven't even heard anything. Hey, I'm gonna zoom you in there. So
I'll come right there. So
there we go.
So it's got these different flotillas that you set up. The artwork is still the tremendous artwork from the original game.
Wow.
It's got heavy wooden pieces. It's a I pick, you choose mechanic is part of it. So a little bit of the Dualosaur where you're gaining resources. I gain, you gain. And then you're going around to these different little flotillas, the different areas, to build buildings, gain resources, and gain victory points. It's a quick game. My son and I played it last night. It took us 20 minutes.
Really?
It was, and it felt like it had some good game. I've only played it twice at this point.
Okay.
But I'm looking forward to seeing if it's one that I want to keep going back to.
Yeah.
It's got a deck of cards that adds a little bit of difficulty to it, so it's got a try it easy, make it harder, which I really like. But it's a very condensed version of Flotilla, and I'm super excited to see how good this is. That
is really cool. So Seastead,
from WizKids Games.
Interesting. I haven't heard anything about it. Now I need that game.
Now it's on the
list. That's really cool. One that we have been playing a lot of is It's a Wonderful World. So it's actually I heard about this a couple weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. It's a Wonderful Kingdom, is it? The title, which is going to be a two-player experience based off of this. It's a Wonderful World is a fantastic engine builder. It is the game that I will play that over Seven Wonders all day long. It is one of my favorite engine building, card drafting games. And it was fun because yeah, Rick said Ryan has a big fat crush on It's a Wonderful World. I really do. It's a great game. The artwork's really cool. You feel like you're building this engine, and you're just like, just one more cube. I can do this. I got to sell this, get this out of my hand. We taught our son how to play, and he was hesitant by round 2. He was like, I'm going to beat you guys. And I was like, now you're just being cocky and mean. And so, but no, he destroyed us. He almost doubled mine and Aaron's score. Never played it before, but I am really excited about playing more of It's a Wonderful World. So,
my son absolutely destroys us at that game we play it.
Really?
Every time. He always goes for the green. The green, he kills us with that thing.
I went blue the last time we played.
Yeah,
and I feel
like blue too.
It was hard. It was hard to get enough going with the blue. It was a tough one. So
do you have the Kickstarter edition, or do you have the?
So this was actually one that we got for review. Actually, Bob got this one, and then with the pandemic, I told Bob, I said, "Hey, let's loosen that grip on It's a Wonderful World, because I need to grab that from you."
Yeah, so I'd love to get the Kickstarter version. Same thing. I had a review copy, from Lucky Duck with it. Really, really enjoy it. Went and looked to see what the difference was, and the review copy has like a Kickstarter copy has like a campaign mode to it. So I'd love to try that. Bob
went all in on the Kickstarter, and so he's got a copy of that. And so, yeah. And then a game that we're both really enjoying is Kohaku. So you got to play it. We talked about it, I think, last time we met up. So what did you think?
I think we've played it probably half a dozen times at this point.
Yeah.
Again, easy setup. You gave me the heads up, so I was able to sit down. I think it was probably Tuesday night after we recorded. We were watching TV, open the box, and I just started peeling those little
layers off. Yeah.
And so that made the first time we played it much easier. But I sat down with the whole family to play it. And again, I need a game that I can teach rules in a compact, like, this is what you're going to do, X, Y, Z, let's play. And then when questions come up, we answer questions. Right? That game did that. It worked really well. It's pretty. I love the acrylic tiles. 25th century games, kind of similarly like with pencil first games, makes good games that look good. Yeah. And I love that combination, right? And you can tell that Chad puts emphasis on the quality of what comes out of his studio, right?
Yeah. And so this is a partnership between Gold Seal Games, Andrew Smith, and Chad over at 25th Century. The finished product of this game is beautiful, and it actually comes out, I think, February 10th is the street date, the retail date for that. Yeah. So if you are hearing this around any time in the beginning of February, you need to grab a copy of Kohaku. It is going to be something excellent to add to your collection.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and again, that theme is great. It's one of those peaceful kind of games, right? It reminds me of the 100 Tori in that way, where it's got like a Zen feeling to the game, which I love.
Rick said that you know how it's classy. The layer peeling is definitely a part of the preparation. That's how you know it's classy. Yeah,
it's part of the game. Yep,
that's right. That's right. So, very cool, Isaac. I think that'll do it for this show. Man, I enjoy doing this with you, and I think it's good getting together and talk about games and how our families are interacting around them. So, you got anything else you want to promote? Gaming with Sidekicks.
Well, first off, like you said, it's getting near that Valentine's Day. So if you're going to get a game, recommend maybe don't go get a game, right? But make time to sit down and play a game with your wife, with your loved one, with your significant other, with the kiddos. Right. Yeah. Just like that's how one of my love languages is quality time. Right. And
absolutely.
Sit down, spend time, crack a game open, even if it's something you don't love. Right. You don't love to play Scrabble all the time, but your family does. Sit down and play it with them. Right. Enjoy it, laugh, have fun. I've played some of the silliest, goofiest, dumbest games with my family that have the best memories, even though the game's like, I never want to play that again.
Yeah.
But, make the memories, right? Like
I'll play a game with my kids that my kids suggest, even if I don't like it, over anything else. If I have to drag one of my kids to a game, it's not going to be fun. you know. And so I'd rather have them pick something out and me say, it's fine, whatever. At least we're having a good time spending time together.
Well, that's why our tagline for our sites, you know, from day one has been the games we like with the people we love, right? And it's the games are things I like, and I really enjoy my games. But man, it's the people, right? It's the people we get to sit down and play with, and you know, I'm happy to play with my family. They're happy to play with me. They're ready for me to be able to play with some other people again sometime soon. So I'm looking forward to being able to do that in the future.
So you don't force your entire family to sit down and play Rococo Deluxe every night. So you will play it. You will make as many dresses as I tell you to make.
We just line them up. Rococo on Mars, right?
There we go. There we go. Meanwhile, they're crying, and you're like, no. Listen, no one cries at Rococo.
I think I've seen that movie. Yes.
Yeah. There's no crying in Rococo. That's the old tagline. Anyway, so cool. Well, you guys can find Gaming with Sidekicks online. You can be tagged at Gaming with Sidekicks all over the place.
Yeah, pretty much. We're really active on Facebook and Instagram are kind of our big things we try and stay busy with. Over on our main site, it's just gamingwithsidekicks.com. So check it out. Nice. This is our big video thing right now is you know what we're doing together. So you know, I'm enjoying this. I don't normally put myself in front of the camera, right? I like to write. I like to do the behind the scenes stuff, but there's a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying getting to do this with you.
Do you have anything coming this week that people should look for? Any content coming to the site?
I believe this is it the second game going on Game Found?
Yeah,
right. The new is the Kingdom Rush. I just forgot the
Lucky Duck Games Kingdom Rush. It's an offshoot from the original.
Yeah, it's their part 2 game. It's not a new game. I'm sorry, it's not an expansion game that they're doing. So it should be a fun one. We got to get a preview of that. Lucky Duck sent us like literally all of the stuff for that, and we got to Rush Elemental. Nice. Kingdom Rush Elemental Rising is what it's called. So we've got some preview of that coming up. I think tomorrow should be hitting.
Awesome. Our Beowulf and Little Red Riding Hood 2-pack review goes up this week. It goes up tomorrow, and then we have a video review for Please Fix the Teleporter. So it's a pretty cool little just sit down kind of scrambled memory game where you're trying to put the thing together as fast as possible to match the card. It's a really cool filler game that you can throw in a purse, put it in your car, keep it with you. We love those style games if we go out to eat as a family or something, or if we go out to the park, those always make it to the table. So
perfect to go.
Cool. Excellent, man. Isaac, it was good hanging out with you tonight, and hope you have an excellent week, sir. So, and for all of you out there, thanks for joining us for the game chat, and we'll be back in 2 weeks. So,
yes.
Thanks. See ya.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.